Right now I'm going to show you how to set even volume in Audacity 2.2. I have this file here and I'm going to play it. You could see based on the graph that the volume levels are different. The reason is two different voices, so I'm going to play the file.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so that was our little sample and the clip is highlighted. So now I'm going to even the volume. I'm going to go to Effects. I'm going to go down to Limiter. And I have it here set at -6 decibels. We'll go ahead and preview it.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so I played it. And notice if we go to the top here where it's limited at the 6, I'm going to play it again and I want you to focus.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Perfect. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go through with it, and what I want you to take notice of is look at the graph on the louder voice and look at the graph on the lower voice. The lower voice is going to stay the same, but the louder voice, it's going to get clipped when it gets too loud, a little bit above the -0.5 decibels. Okay. Now this is our end result, and just visually looking at it, you could see that the volume levels are just about the same. And now go ahead and play it. Then we'll focus on this meter here.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and undo my limiter effect, and then I'll show you guys a few other techniques that I don't think works. So a lot of people would use the normalize effect, and I have it set to the -3 decibel, and then we'll go ahead and preview it and pay attention to this meter here on the top.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Well, I need to set this to the -6 decibels. My bad. Let's preview it again.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so it did a good job of limiting the louder voice to the 6, but you'll notice when the second voice plays in, it's
Active
coming in
Directory
at
objects to
-9.
users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running
Actually,
Windows?
-12. It's peaking at -12, so that's not handling our needs. And if I go through with the effect, it's still coming up distorted because both of these voices are completely different.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so the first
Active Directory
voice
objects to
is
users on the
peaking
network.
at
What are some of
-6.
the other roles that
The
a server
second
running
voice is
Windows?
peaking at a -12. So with the normalizer effect, we have not accomplished our task of making the audio even. Now the next thing that I see people recommend is the compressor effect. So right here I have the threshold set at -6, and we'll go ahead and preview it the same way.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so with the compressor, I noticed that the first voice peaked at 0 and the second voice peaked around -3.
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
Alright, so that's a little bit better than the normalizer. Let me just put this one through all the way and see what our graphs look like. Okay, so the compressor actually increased the volume on both of these voices. It increased the volume on the first voice and it increased the volume on the second voice. So if I play it through,
Active Directory objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
so when I did play it through, it looks like the first voice peaks at 0 and the second voice peaks at -3 decibels. So that's good, but it's still not achieving our volume uniform levels that we're looking for. So I'm going to undo the compressor. Now I'm going to go back to my original fix in using the limiter, which is set at with hard limit -6 decibels. Don't apply any gains. Gonna click OK. And now we see the volumes are limited both visually and
Active Directory
auditorily.
objects to users on the network.
What are some of the other roles that a server running Windows?
I hope this works for you guys. If you guys have some better techniques, put some comments in there. Thanks for watching.